and behind him Lee Crooks leading the players onto the field. First home game of the season for Castleford Tigers, and Lee Crooks looking stern as he leads out fullback Jason Flowers, the wingers Chris Smith and Simon Middleton. In the centre it's Richard Gay and Richard Goddard. The standoff is Adrian Vowles, the newcomer from Australia. Halfback 18-year-old Danny Orr to fill Tony Smith's shoes. Props Crooks and Dean Sampson. The hooker is Lee St. Hilaire, new signing from Huddersfield. Second row, Harland and Liddon. Jason Liddon, another Australian, and the Kiwi Brendan Tutor completes the lineup. On the bench, Stedman, Sykes, Smales and Schick. For the coach, John Joyner. It's a mild night here in West Yorkshire, and Castleford against Wigan, obviously always one of the highlights of the season. And it's great to see Gary Connolly back in the Wigan jersey. Connolly, it's his first game since his winter stint with Harlequins. He had a knee injury, he came back with that. He got a try here last year against the Tigers. The match referee is David Campbell, 42 years old. He took charge of the Premiership final in 1996. And Jason Robinson, he too returns to the Wigan ranks. Super League tries in a match record holder, 5 against Leeds last August. Be interesting to see how this new look Wigan side cope. So it's Castleford Tigers against the Wigan Warriors. We're live here at Weldon Road, just about ready for the kick-off. Wigan will start and they will kick from right to left. Big kick-off there.
Good kick-off there, but a bad mistake by Lee Crooks. Thought it was going out onto the full, and it just pops over the top of him. You can see that Crooks should have been stood on the touchline. It's easy to move forward rather than go backwards.
From the scrum, Castleford have the possession. That's their fullback, Jason Flowers. He gets up, plays the ball quickly. The secret of Super League this year is quick play the balls. Players complete the tackle, roll away and let the game get underway again. Nick Cassidy coming in with a crunching tackle on Brendan Tutor. And that's Dean Sampson. My word, he's put some bulk on during the course of the winter months, hasn't he? Now Lee Crooks, still going strong in Super League.
It's in the forwards that the Tigers really can take supremacy in this match. Not that there are any slouches out on the three-quarter line, but they know that they're going to have their hands full with this guy, Jason Robinson, and of course a return of Gary Connolly. Skill and speed in this Wigan outfit tonight.
That's David Murray, the new fullback from New Zealand. That, meanwhile, is Craig Murdoch, a young man who served his apprenticeship, of course, under Sean Edwards. And there are big rumours that Edwards will be signing for the Broncos this week, and Tony Smith of Castleford will be signing for Wigan. So Murdoch will again be under intense pressure. Andy Farrell, the captain, driving the ball up towards the halfway line. Here's Murdoch once more, the man who will try and dictate the pattern of play. Good kick downfield for Radlinski, and that's good defence from Chris Smith.
It had to be as well. Good play by the winger, but what a wonderful kick there from Craig Murdoch. But the chase was superb. Radlinski really shot down there. Well, keep your eye out for number 14, Craig Murdoch. As Eddie has mentioned, could be under pressure. And when a guy is under pressure like that, he usually comes up with the goods. Expect it from him tonight.
And there's Lee St. Hilaire, the new man from Huddersfield. 4 tackles gone for Castleford Tigers. This now is Jason Liddon, I beg your pardon. Jason Liddon picks himself up, plays the ball. Little dink over the top. Good chase, and that's a knock-on. It'll be no try. Simon Middleton patted the ball forward and then dropped on the loose ball, but he was so close.
Tremendous option on the blind side, and Middleton really did go past the Wigan defence. Well, chance gone begging there, but you have to point the finger at the Wigan defence, who stood around and allowed Simon Middleton to race through.
Well, Middleton, Steve-O, was denied a try last week because apparently he touched down when his feet were outside the field of play at Salford. It would have at least given Castleford Tigers a draw.
Fight in the background, Lee Harland throwing quite a few punches.
And Simon Horton involved as well.
They're still on with it. And now they're all getting involved.
It was Tuta and Horton who were shaping up.
Well, Lee Harland started it, then Horton took it on. Brendan Tuta, there was no slouch in that department. He wanted to get involved as well. Fiery opening.
So much at stake in Super League this year. A high kick from Andy Farrell, bounces back kindly, and that's lovely play from Henry Paul looking for Cassidy, and Cassidy is just held up short of the line. Once more, Castleford are going to get the ball back because it's the turnover on the last tackle.
Tremendous defence there, but it was good work by Murdoch, or tipped the ball back. Henry Paul got it through, but look at that defence. Great strength.
Horton with the tackle on Brendan Tuta. Henry Paul doing the tackling on that occasion on Lee Harland. Good ball out wide. That's good quick hands, but just a bit too quick. Middleton put the pass down from Richard Goddard.
Just a touch forward there from Goddard. And you could see that Middleton, the second opportunity, would have been in cleared open space. It was a beautiful pass by Richard Goddard, but it may just have come forward slightly. He knows a chance has gone begging yet again.
Murdoch feeds the scrum. Big opportunity here for Wigan then. They're inside the 20-metre zone. This is Radlinski, who pops it up to Connolly, who drops it promptly.
Well, I don't know why Garrick... Well, I don't know why he's unimpressed. I know he's been a little bit rusty, but you can see that he should have come a lot closer to Radlinski. If you can get the fingertips to it, then I'm sure you can get two hands to it. Connolly saying to his fellow player Radlinski, make sure that you give me a good pass, and I think it was.
Penalty to Castleford. Richard Goddard will deposit the ball into touch.
Well, for years we've seen strong discipline by the Wigan outfit, and indiscipline yet again. And that's good refereeing by David Campbell. He allowed the advantage, and Castleford went forward.
Dean Sampson with a strong run down the middle, halted by the tackle from Terry O'Connor and Gail Talek, the Frenchman. That was Lee St. Hilaire, Richard Gay, and then he gets the pass away to Danny Orr, the young scrum half. St. Hilaire again. That's good tackling. With a bang in the face, the Wigan man for his pains. Richard Goddard now.
Good tackle by Mick Cassidy, that to be as well, but they've got the overlap.
Lee Crooks delayed the pass out wide. Chris Smith, all wrapped up by Robinson, looping pass back into the arms of Tuta. Tuta tackled. Ball comes free, and this will be play on.
Tuta realising it was late in the tackle count, tried to keep it alive, but they had the big chance there. It went astray. Well, David Murray, the Wigan fullback, came to the rescue. It's end-to-end stuff. That all forced errors, both sides are moving up exceptionally quickly in defence.
Murdoch to Andy Farrell. Wigan were out of sorts last week against Halifax. They were lucky to get away with the victory in the end. Terry O'Connor, though, had a wonderful season in 1996, culminating in the tour to Papua New Guinea, Fiji and New Zealand. High kick from Craig Murdoch, who was in the shadow squad for that. Underneath it, Radlinski, but he couldn't take it in. It bounced off his head, went forward. Richard Gay picks up the pieces, gives it then to Jason Flowers. Murdoch, the man who gets in with the tackling.
Good run by Flowers, but they obviously feel that there's a problem with Chris Smith. That's the second occasion that Wigan have pinpointed the winger. They're kicking to his corner. Good defence by Horton there. Really did pick his man.
Great tackle on Chris Smith, who wintered with the Newport Rugby Union Club in South Wales. Talking to David Watkins, their chairman, recently, he was pretty impressed with young Chris Smith. And that's lovely hands from Sampson to Gay, but Gay just tossed the pass inside and Wigan have it back. He was, in fairness, looking for Middleton, but the ball went to ground.
That'll be back to 6. Castleford boot got to that football. It was great work by Sampson, but this is a wasted effort by the centre, Richard Gay. They should have gone down with the football. And it looks like interference at this play the ball by the centre, Richard Goddard. Well, you mentioned about the pressure. You see the big centre pulled him over, and as a second attempt, when you made the tackle, it's quite clear in the rule book, once you've stopped the man, you've got to roll away. You can't have a second attempt.
Well, it's clear in the rule book, and it's clear in the new edict as well from Greg McCallum, the director of referees. But that's an area where the officials this year will be trying to tighten up and speed the play along. It's a rule that the coaches wanted and the players wanted reinforcing, and Greg McCallum quite happy that his referees should do exactly that. This is a good run from Gail Talek. Forced his way into the side at the start of this season, the French second rower. Now here's Simon Horton. On the 20-metre zone, Henry Paul sweeps the ball into the arms of Murdoch. He finds Farrell. Good ball from Farrell to Connolly. Connolly to Murdoch. The referee's got the forward pass. It's no try.
Well picked up by the referee and the touch judge. Farrell delayed the pass, and you could see him talking to the Wigan players saying, I couldn't see it, but I've got a guy out there with a little flag. Well spotted touch judge, no doubt about it. Connolly had overrun.
Yes, it was just forward from Farrell, but the touch judge and referee doing well, working as a team. So Castleford breathe a sigh of relief, because some of those, Tivo, have gone unpunished in the past.
They sure have, and of course we mentioned that to Greg McCallum when he was a guest on our midweek show last Wednesday, that how long are we away from referees and touch judges working as a team throughout the entire season? It can only help them.
Here's Chris Smith. Forward pass again. Forward pass this time against Castleford. Scrum will go down now with Wigan's head and feed.
Well, they're just trying to force the football when they don't really need to. Not so sure about that, though. You can see that the pass came along the line.
David Campbell indicated it was about half a metre forward, if that.
Well, it looked okay for mine. But he's the man with the whistle. He's the man that counts.
And he's trying to get the players who have done the tackling to get away from the grounded man a lot quicker. Simon Horton with great strength, and it took 5 men to bring him down to ground. Murdoch, O'Connor.
Oh, what a big hit by Brendan Tutor. He loves to mix it. The New Zealander, he really enjoys life in there.
Henry Paul, good ball back to Neil Cowie. Neil Cowie brushes off 1, brushes off 2, brushes off 3. Eventually, they haul him down.
Well, it took a while, and it was Danny Orr to realise that they've got to go low on the big prop forward.
Andy Farrell, Wigan have got men out wide. That looks a little too strong, though. I know that Connolly is quick and Doc Murray is quick, but the kick from Farrell just too deep.
Nice option, though. He knows that the Castleford defence is moving up quickly out wide. Thought that he perhaps could just kid the fullback Jason Flowers. A little bit too strong. With a swinging arm there from Craig Murdoch.
That should be a penalty against Wigan. Oh! Well, Connolly was pushing and shoving at the man about to play the ball, and the referee has given the penalty to Wigan.
Well, they never cease to amaze me. Lee Crooks, the skipper, is not impressed. We've mentioned the fact. Now, there's a push. That should have been the penalty.
Watch this. There's another.
That's 2. And because he's delayed in playing it, well, this is the reason why he's penalised. You can see the right elbow go into the face. And that was well spotted by the touch judge again, helping the referee, David Campbell. So it is not for what we thought was an interference. But to be fair, I'm on your side, Eddie. The first incident, Connolly did interfere, so therefore he should have blown up straight away.
Would have stopped all the argy-bargy, wouldn't it? Anyway, it gives Wigan's captain, Andy Farrell, the opportunity to kick for goal and get the first points. Lee Harland is feeling a little aggrieved at this point, and so too is Lee Crooks, the Castleford captain. He's already asked David Campbell why the penalty's been given. But the penalty was given, and Andy Farrell converts and gets 2 points. Well, Andy Farrell, of course, scored a late penalty at Wigan last July to win the match in controversial circumstances again, but there is the reason the penalty's been given.
Little doubt, but before that, Connolly had interfered with Haaland, and that's why he was incensed by the whole incident.
Shallow kick-off again, ball bounces back, Wigan will have this. Oh, they won't now, Murray makes a meal of it. He will pick him for the knock-on.
Deary me, what a meal you say of David Murray. All that good work from the short kick-off, and you can see there first a knock-on, rolls towards the whitewash, and the hooker, Sanalea, makes sure that he goes over the touch.
So Castleford back in possession with Goddard and Gay. Good quick hands. Jason Flowers takes the tackle. That's Adrian Bowles, the dummy half, the man who played for Queensland as a substitute in 1994 in the State of Origin. This, meanwhile, is Chris Smith. Lee St. Hilaire is the dummy half. Now it's with Sampson. Here's Crooks. He misses out one man, gets the pass out wide, and it's Jason Liddon.
Solid defence, Cowie leading the way. Well, it's a real bruising affair so far. Castleford yet to elect on the bomb or the high kick.
Lee Crooks, good ball. Haaland was coming steaming onto it, and it was well watched by Mick Cassidy. Now Brendan Tutor. This is the last tackle. He dabs the ball through, chases after it, and Johnson's going to be trapped. That's great play from Tutor. Nowhere for Andy Johnson to go.
Well-weighted kick. And how many times do we mention the fact that a kick is only as good as the chase? And when you've got Brendan Tutor bouncing down upon you, I think Andy Johnson was quite happy to make sure he regained possession. He knows he's in a big game tonight.
Andy Johnson, Academy International second rower. He's playing this evening, though, on the wing. Jason Flowers taking on Henry Paul. Henry Paul standing up to the challenge well. Crooks to Flowers.
Got in the way of the full-back there. It was meant for Lee Haaland out wide. The switch back from Crooks.
Lovely ball that, and this is going to be a try. Tremendous try for Liddon. Jason Liddon, the Aussie, who was outstanding for West a few years ago, raced onto the pass and just ghosted through the Wigan defence.
Well, we spoke about the inside pass, and Crooks pulled through this occasion back on the inside, and the second rower, Jason Liddon. Good running on the angles, pulled it through. Danny Orr back on the inside. Well, two switches of play, first by Lee Crooks, set them in this position. Danny Orr did exactly the same thing. And the big second rower. Beautiful try by Jason Liddon. Watch for the late run. You can see the Wigan defence. They did not fill in. Cowie stopped moving across on the sliding defence, and they were caught cold. This guy really hit top gear. Too late, Cassidy got nowhere near it.
Jason Liddon with the try. Good signing on the looks of things by John Joyner and the Castleford board. Liddon. Lee Crooks, meanwhile, from right in front of the uprights, adds the extras, and Castleford Tigers have the lead, 6 points to 2.
There you can see Cowie is spotlighted there, and you'll see how Liddon comes in. Cowie just hesitates. There was a slip there, but Cowie was the man should have moved in.
Great try from Liddon. He was a tremendous player. Had lost the ball. Wigan are claiming the ball, and they should have been allowed to play on.
Well, it was a big hit, wasn't it?
Cassidy was stood in front of the player, wasn't he? Isn't that offside?
That should be the penalty. Either way, Cass have got possession, which is the most important factor. And at a scoreline at 6-2, another try here really would put the pressure on the Warriors.
Lee Crooks picks himself up. The dummy half is Lee St. Hilaire. This is Dean Sampson using that considerable weight and strength. Gives it back to Crooks. He finds Vowles. This is Harland. Harland then to Jason Flowers, who loves to chime into the attacking line, the full-back.
Watch for the angle run now.
Tutor spins the ball into the arms of Danny Orr. Orr gets it back to Tutor again. Another chance. Could be in here, or is he held up over the line? Hauled back. It was tremendous defence against Lee St. Hilaire. This is the last tackle. Kick over the top into the in-goal area. And the ball runs dead. Robinson took the gamble.
Well shepherded there by Robinson, but what a try by Henry Paul. He swings him right around the post. What great strength there from the standoff, Henry Paul. It looked a certain try for the hooker, St. Hilaire. Well, gambles are plenty. So close for Castleford. At a time where they've got Wigan on the rack. They're looking very shaky in defence. This is the kick from Crooks. And you can see that Robinson had shielded it well.
Nearly ended up in the front row of the terracing for his pains. But this is a very encouraging start by the Castleford Tigers. Henry Paul now, Neil Cowie, looping pass into the arms of Andy Johnson. Good tackling from Simon Middleton downstairs. Farrell again, the man who obviously will be doing a lot of the tactical kicking. Robinson was after Jason Flowers and got to him just as the ball reached him.
Good stuff, both attack and defence. This is an exciting game. They're really throwing at each other. The forwards coming in with the big hits, trying to suck in the defence and then get the ball out wide for these speedsters.
Little slip from young Danny Orr, only 18 years of age. Now Brendan Tutor again. So important to Castleford, Tutor. 29 metres made, 4 tackles gone. This is Crooks, he drags Castleford over halfway, hangs on to the football. That's the last tackle. Lee St. Hilaire back into the arms of Goddard. Goddard dabs the ball over the top and chases after it himself. Doc Murray is on a, well, I was going to say he's on a hiding to nothing here, and he just had to knock the ball out under great pressure from Smith.
Good kick over by Goddard, and I must say David Murray, the Wigan full-back, is looking very shaky. Chris Smith was only inches away from that. Well, it's problem times perhaps by the Wigan coach Eric Hughes. David Murray does not look comfortable at all.
So it's a drop out from underneath their own post by Wigan, and their captain Farrell had a tremendous game last week apparently to turn round a losing situation at half-time into a victorious one by the end of the game. Middleton runs that ball back at this Wigan defence. Well, 16 metres he made.
I was looking at the stats from last week, Eddie, and that Andy Farrell, a real captain's game, 26 tackles and 182 metres gained.
And he's no doubt pleasing his new coach, Eric Hughes, new man in control at Central Park. Lee Harland.
Wigan having a lot of trouble with these angle runs.
Vowles to Danny Orr, pops the ball up lovely for Crooks. Beautiful ball round the corner from Crooks. And Lytton was looking for another. Danny Orr in a dummy half. Vowles. Well, it was well done by Goddard to retain possession for his side then. Here's Vowles again. Ball bounces back. It will not be 6 to go. It was a collision with the ball. It just came back off the Wigan player who did not make a play for it. So that's the turnover.
Well, it bounced away, so that's play on. But there was an incident there where Terry O'Connor went charging through in an off-the-ball incident. Fortunately, no one was hurt in that.
Radlinski now for Wigan.
A little bit of nastiness coming into this game. There's been a lot of talk. The players are really having a bit of a natter to each other. Got to keep an eye on it, the referee, David Campbell.
Murdoch to Farrell. Farrell up the middle, but again attracting 3 tacklers to him.
This is the off-the-ball incident. You can see that, oh, Crooks really caught it from Terry O'Connor. Wasn't spotted by anybody.
Except yourself. Connolly. Tackled by Vowles. Last tackle here for Wigan. Chip over the top from Henry Paul. collected, and this now is Flowers again.
Wasted effort there by Henry Paul, and he knows it was far too deep. The cover was there, ample time to take it in.
Middleton to Gay. Radlinski and Horton watching him like a hawk. Lovely run here from Middleton. Oh, Middleton tried to get the pass away to St. Hilaire. He did, though, but St. Hilaire just couldn't take it in. Now, this is David Murray, the Wigan fullback.
Well, again, they're trying to keep the ball alive, and you can see the hooker just couldn't take it in. Boy, oh boy, there's some big hits out there. There you saw Vowles, the standoff. He's a big lump of a lad. They're going in at each other.
It's a great game so far, and Castleford really taking it to the former champions. Murdoch to Paul to Farrell. Farrell to Radlinski. They still have quality all over the field, Wigan, that is the envy of many clubs. I make it 12 internationals in the 17 tonight. He is one of them. Jason Robinson. Good tackling, though, by Dean Sampson.
It's tremendous defence by Castleford. They're not being sucked in and going for the dummy runner. They're making sure that it's man-on-man marking.
Farrell with the outside of the boot. It bounced off a post almost. The ball came free, but Chris Smith managed to ground it in his own in-goal area.
Neat little chip through there. Beautiful work by Farrell. You can see that Flowers just had a chance to ground the football.
But only just, and it was Jason Flowers.
That's all it needs. Doesn't have to dig a hole and plant it. Downward pressure is sufficient.
Now Murray again to run this ball back. We've got another set of 6 tackles for Wigan. Missed tackles, Wigan have missed, crucially, 6. Maybe that's a hint of why they're behind on the scoreboard. As Cowie once again drives it in for them. 34 metres made in 2 tackles. Murdoch to Paul, back to Connolly. Connolly to Farrell. Farrell with nowhere to go, gives it to Murdoch. He helps it on further out wide to Gail Talek. Talek has served a long apprenticeship at Central Park. Johnson, Murdoch, Paul and Farrell. Back to Murray. He did well to get that one in. It was one-handed. But nowhere for Wigan to go. This is very stern and resolute defence from the Castleford Tigers.
It's tremendous stuff, but the big problem with Wigan, they're having no dummy runners. It's one-out stuff all the time.
Last tackle, Murdoch. Murdoch dabs through with the outside of his boot. There's Flowers again. Can he get back in the field of play? No, he can't. More pressure coming in here on this Tigers defence.
Neat little kick there, but good work by Henry Paul and Mick Cassidy. Make sure the fullback couldn't get out. Well, they'll be sucking in for you now. The Castleford side. It's the first real amount of pressure that Wigan have applied.
Dropout lands almost on halfway, and Robinson, this elusive little man, will run the ball back. Crooks did well. Cassidy to Murray. Wigan had to beat off a challenge from Salford for the signing of David Murray. Cassidy to Murdoch. Here's Farrell. Farrell obviously is the fulcrum of all the Wigan attacks at the moment, as is this fellow Murdoch. And Henry Paul. Short ball to O'Connor. O'Connor was grounded by Sampson, and the referee says to Sampson, watch the elbow. Horton, great strength from Horton, and he stretches out and he gets the ball down. That's the first Wigan try. That levels the scores, and Horton with immense strength to hold off the challenges, stretch out the arm and touch the ball down.
But he can put this down to a bit of adventure between the 2 halfbacks. Craig Murdoch, Henry Paul. Before this, they tried to run around. It sucked in the defence and allowed the second row, the big man, to use his strength to go in for the try. They went far too high. The ball carrying arm did not touch the ground. Carries it in the left, hands with the right. That is a tremendous try. Wonderful strength.
Try then, Simon Horton with the try, and that was a reward for Wigan, because Castleford had to withstand 3 consecutive sets of 6 tackles against them, and Simon Horton gets the try. Only a substitute last week. He was tried out as a centre in pre-season, apparently, but in his accustomed second row slot this evening. Andy Farrell, the loose forward, the youngest ever British Lions captain during the winter tour to Papua, Fiji and New Zealand. Left-footed, he's pushed it wide of the post. That's a bad miss by Farrell. The score's a level.
First time we've seen a bit of adventure by Wigan. The run around, you see Paul running his own. Notice how the defence will come in tight, and from this the gap comes out wide. Quick play the ball. You can see that Castleford are very slow to go back. Quite a few of them were just walking through, and when they throw the dummy, look at that on the inside. They really should have been forcing the Wigan outfit down the middle. They allowed Horton plenty of time to come out wide.
Ian Smales has come on for Castleford Tigers. He just collected that kick-off, and Jason Liddon, the try scorer, is the man he has replaced. Here's Haaland again. Oh, and he should never release the ball. Castleford claiming it was stolen. Henry Paul picks up the pieces and launches another Wigan attack. He was in all sorts of strife there. Lee Haaland should have just taken the tackle. But did the ball get stolen in more than a two-man tackle? That's what Castleford claimed. This is Andy Farrell. Andy Farrell turns the ball back, and Cassidy comes up with another. Another try for Wigan, 2 in as many minutes. Cassidy is hurt in the act of scoring the try, but Castleford pay the penalty for Lee Haaland releasing the ball under intense pressure.
You make the mistake and sometimes you pay the price. But what a great run from the big loose forward. Pops up this ball, a real captain's knock yet again. And like all hookers, they really should be on the ball, and Cassidy was on this occasion. A little bit of a dummy run around, pass on the inside, but Farrell's strength there. And the ability to offload was superb. Well, the Castleford defence, which has been so strong, this is where they surrender the ball. Haaland trying to get the ball away in an impossible situation. They are claiming that it was reefed away. Maybe it's contentious, but you can't stop strength like this. Farrell first. Cassidy adds another 4.
Took a bang on the head as well, but Castleford were still debating whether that ball had been stolen from Lee Haaland. I think that Henry Paul certainly got a hand to it, but my immediate impression was that the ball was airborne at the time. Andy Farrell adds the extra 2, and suddenly now Wigan take control, 12 points to 6. Great effort from Farrell. He had a magnificent game last week.
Well,
here's the contentious incident.
Was the ball taken away? You could see that Henry Paul certainly had fingertips in it. Did he touch it? No. You can see that Haaland had just released the football. Talk about having eagle eyes. David Campbell, the referee. Haaland definitely was motioning to release the football. It may have travelled a few centimetres, that's all. It was a suicidal pass. And look at the scoreline. That's the reason, 12-6. Well, Castleford, Eddie, had this game in their grasp in the first half.
Oh, Smales drops it.
Dearie me today.
Takes his eye off the ball. Well, they're their own worst enemy, Steve-O, to use one of yours.
Would you be a coach, or would you even attempt? John Joyner must be absolutely distraught. Ian Smales, a substitute, makes an awful mistake.
And Wigan are back on the charge again. Paul to Radlinski. There's the man in question, John Joyner, just chewing his fingernails with the nerves. Richard Goddard off. Graham Steadman, so often Castleford's saviour in the past against Wigan, comes on. 32 minutes gone, 12-6, Wigan ahead. In possession for a moment. Murdoch's pass not the best, and bravery there from Richard Gay. Now a chance for Chris Smith to show us some elusive running.
Good play by the winger there, determined run. Castleford, they know they've got to get back into this game pretty sharpish. They were looking strong, they were looking confident, and 2 awful mistakes has allowed Wigan back into this match.
Here's Crooks, who will carry the battle up to Wigan all night. 3 tackles gone, 39 metres they've made. They'll make a few more here now. Voles gets the pass out to Richard Gay, and Richard Gay did so well.
Did he ever? Took it on the half volley. Campbell had a good look at that one.
Last tackle for Castleford. Voles hoists a high kick straight up in the air. And it's hacked forward again. Here's a chance maybe. Murray grounds the ball in his own in goal.
Well, he got there in the end, but that was good play there by Castleford. They really took the gamble, took it alive. You can see Simon Middleton, but look at the full back. His positional play is not the best. David Murray, as I've mentioned before, looking very lackadaisical. Got away with it on that occasion.
That's not the best dropout either from underneath the sticks. Ian Smales is underneath it. Oh! And he drops it again. He's only touched it twice, Smales, and he's dropped it on both occasions.
Well, they'll play the first knock on, even though the Wigan player did knock on after this. And you see Simon Hort in the second row, but the scrum will be put down, and you see Smales, well, his butterfingers tonight.
Well, he's been outstanding in the Alliance team, which is the reserve grade. He's had dreadful luck with injuries also, as Wigan make a change, and Martin Hall, the regular hooker, comes on for Mick Cassidy. And apparently Cassidy was injured in scoring that try, a groin strain. A chance for Martin Hall then to re-establish himself as Wigan's #1 hooker. There he is, in at dummy half, number 27 on his back. Neil Cowie, 10 metres inside the Castleford half of the field. Last tackle here for Wigan. Murdoch, Paul. Paul dabs it through, almost gets it back, does get it back, still the last tackle. Talek sweeps the ball inside to O'Connor. This is Cowie, and Cowie hammers the ball to the in goal. It's not a bad kick as it turns out. Bounced well for him. Jason Flowers though does really well. Jason Flowers does superbly well.
Good job, they just ankle tapped in there. Well, Neil Cowie found himself in an invidious situation. The ball shouldn't have actually come to him. It was an awful kick, but the bounce came back for him.
Yeah, he just lashed it downfield, didn't he? But as we've seen so often, the football can do some strange things when it hits the ground. Chris Smith on his own from dummy half, but well tackled by Radlinski. Radlinski working like a terrier at the play the ball area. Here's St. Hilaire. Oh, and that was an awful pass to Richard Gay. He picked up a couple of dodgy ones earlier, but even Gay could do nothing about this.
Well, if you're going to run from dummy half, you either take on the defence, you don't run the angle and then delay the pass. It's not the best. I'm sure there'll be a few words said to him by his coach, John Joyner. It's either a quick pass at the play the ball or take on the defensive pattern.
Murdoch feeds, gets possession, finds Paul. Here's Connolly. Connolly just injects a bit of pace. Elusive run. Support is there from Murray. And they're clawing at Murray to try and bring him down. They do eventually. Here's O'Connor. O'Connor hangs on under pressure from Smales. Just over 3 minutes to go to half-time. Murdoch, Paul, Murdoch, Farrell on the burst, Farrell on the charge. Good tackle in the end from young Danny Orr. Robinson, Jason Robinson, into the arms of Henry Paul. Connolly, backdoor stuff to Cowie. Oh, brilliant skill. Paul, Connolly. Forward pass, no try.
Just a little bit fancy at the end.
It was slick move and handling though, wasn't it, until that moment.
Beautiful stuff. You see that Connolly tried to get it away, half a yard forward. Never any chance of that being classified as a try, but Castleford allowed Wigan back into this match and they are gaining in confidence, and we've just seen a passage of play which was superb.
Memories of the try that Neil Cowie scored at Central Park a few seasons ago against this Castleford side. The move swept from one end of the field to the other. It was a tremendous try, and signs that Wigan are maybe getting back into the swing of things.
especially with the fact that they're using their big loose forward. Andy Farrell running out wide is creating a lot of problems in the centres.
Haaland's proving a real handful to haul down. They made 61 metres in 4 tackles.
Now Castleford have to get back into the habit of running the angles. That's where the gaps would appear in. They really were stretching the Wigan defence because of that angle running.
Lovely ball from Orr to Vowles. This is Crooks. Crooks over the top. It's bounced kindly. This is Middleton. Middleton will score. They deserve that, the Tigers. Danny Orr started it. And Henry Paul complains to referee David Campbell it should never have been allowed. I don't know what he's complaining about, but the try stands, and Simon Middleton, the ball bounced kindly for Tigers in the end.
Well, we're screaming for the angle runner, and you can see how Crooks the wrong ball to start with, but watch how they keep it alive. Middleton did so well. Then the run in, back on the inside, or onto Crooks, beautiful angle. Out wide, not the best pass, but Middleton won't mind. What a great step, what a great finish. Well, we spoke of the class, we spoke of the skills of Wigan, but this is equal to the task. It was a beautiful pass on the inside by the standoff. Not the best from Crooksy, but Middleton puts Castleford back.
Well, all teams look for a lift just before the half-time siren, and Simon Middleton has provided it for Castleford Tigers. Great try. Slick handling skills from Wigan at one end, and Castleford go up the other end, and they say, anything you can do, we can do just a little bit better. Simon Middleton with the try, and Lee Crooks now with an important kick. Crooks, the man who has played 521 games in almost 17 years, and that's the experience. Just sweeps the kick over the top of the crossbar. Castleford 12, Wigan 12, just what the Tigers ordered at half-time. And Simon Middleton limps his way to the dressing room. They'll hope he'll return for the second half. But what an entertaining match we have here. 2 tries apiece. Liddon, who's now off the field, and Middleton. Horton and Cassidy with the tries for Wigan, but Andy Farrell, their captain, has led by example. 12 all here at half-time at Weldon Road, and this Simon Middleton try, exactly what John Joyner would have wanted. Great game. Coming up on Good Friday, it's Wigan against St Helens at Central Park. We shall be there on Sky Sports 1 from 2:30. They will kick off at 3 o'clock. It's the ultimate Super League derby. But right now we have a great match going on involving Wigan again. Castleford Tigers against Wigan here in the Super League. We're live and exclusive on Sky Sports 1. And what a match this is turning into. 12 points all at half-time. Great game. Castleford, they will be really encouraged by the fact that they went in at half-time on the back of that Simon Middleton try. And Steve-O, we saw in the semi-final of the Challenge Cup yesterday just what a score at that time of a match can do to a team.
Oh, tremendous, because it was at a point really where Castleford had taken control of this game midway through the first half, and it really only came about by 2 silly mistakes that allowed Wigan the opportunity to start and get back into this match. But I'm sure that both coaches will have plenty to say to their charges, because a lot of mistakes, maybe most of them coming about because of the strong defence. It's a very tough game out there.
It is a tough game. It's being played at such incredible pace as well. And as you say, the mistakes, with the exception of 1 or 2, and we won't name him again, but it was Ian Smales, but with the exception of those, all the mistakes have been forced.
Well, yes, of course. It's because it's a very strong game. The forwards are taking out himself. I just got the impression that when Wigan scored those 2 very, very quick tries, that they were going to start taking control. We saw that Andy Farrell was running out wide. He was making gaps into the centres. But full credit to Castleford, they bounced back.
Well, Steve, you've got the chalkboard in your hand. Let's have a look at some of the important moments of that first half now.
Well, of course, the first try came to little, and it was absolutely wonderful play by the standoff Orr. If you just move the video on, you'll find out that this has been one of the features of Castleford, especially in the first 20 minutes. And as we move the ball across, let's stop it there. See how we'll run across on the inside, and then the man will come in. Now, this angle running really has created so much problem. You can see that Neil Cowie failed to fill in. If you're using a sliding defence, you have to make sure that you push in and fill that hole. Unfortunately, Cowie failed to do that. And at that point, it looked as though Castleford were going to take over, because it only took a tremendous effort from Henry Paul to stop Castleford scoring their second try. This is absolutely wonderful by the standoff. It looked for all the way that Senelaire, the hooker, was going over. That is superb strength. The Castleford hooker is by no means a small man. Very, very big indeed. Well, full credit to Wigan. They came about with a mistake, and from this, it was the first time that they started moving it. Now, if we just hold it there, you'll see that for the first time in this first half, they will do the run around. You'll notice how Henry Paul will do the spin, and he'll pull it through. Quick play the ball, and this defence will be moving across into the middle. Tremendous stuff, this. This was Wigan of old. They really look confident here. Good run by the forwards. Now hold it again. You can see the Castleford defence is very slow. And look at the gap there. They really have got to start working hard at this. And this was the moment that Wigan thought, look, we can get back into this match. Full credit, though, to the full second rower, Horton. He showed tremendous strength. That took some scoring. And then, of course, came the Haaland pass. Well, what on earth was this guy thinking about? It was in heavy traffic, and really, you can see he was releasing it there. A lot of people, especially at the game here in the crowd, thought that it was Paul that was dragging the ball out, and from this situation, along came Wigan's second try. It was beautiful. We mentioned earlier that Farrell was running out wide. Ball runs through. Watch now. You'll see that the big fella will start coming in from a late run, and from this, the defence. They've got to watch him. It looks there, the runabout. There he comes back on the inside, runs round. He uses the man who's played the ball exceptionally well, and like all hookers should do, tremendous play by the hooker Cassidy. And at this, and then of course the last one just before half-time. What a great lift for Castleford. Middleton try, but full credit to Orr. This was a mistake. It was not the best pass, but they did well here, especially the substitute Graham Steadman kept the ball alive. Now notice how they'll drive the ball through. Makes a break, Gazor, back on the inside. Hold it there. Notice that the ball will come back on the inside. And this was one superb try. He held off well there. The old stager Crooks still can get the pass out. Okay, wasn't the best. Two bad passes. But it won't make one iota to Simon Middleton, who put Castleford well and truly back into this match. Tremendous effort, Eddie. Really, really great 40 minutes of rugby league football.
It was sensational, wasn't it? 12 points all it is at half-time. Doesn't he talk a good game, when he wants to? When he gets his mind on it, you do well.
I don't know about mind on. I think that both coaches will have plenty to say out there. I know that they'll be satisfied with at least sharing the honours, but there's more to come.
Well, it's, I'm sure, catching your attention, the great performances that you're seeing out there on the pitch, and you can have your say, of course, in the Viewers' Man of the Match competition. You can name and nominate your man of the match on that telephone number during the course of the second half. We'll tell you when to ring, and the man of the match will collect the commemorative man of the match video with his name emblazoned in gold down the spine from us here at Sky Sports, and also one mini television set on which he can watch his video performance. And you too can win one of the television sets. If you happen to name the right fellow and then are randomly selected by the computer, you can pick up the mini television set as well. We'll give you the number during the course of the second half when you should ring in and cast your votes. Well, tremendous game in progress here. 12 all at half-time. Very rarely when we come to Weldon Road are we let down. Castleford, and whatever the opposition, always provide an entertaining tussle, and that's exactly what we've got here. 12 all at half-time against mighty Wigan, the second half coming next. Coming up, we have a change to our listed match for you on Easter Monday. It's the Salford Reds now against Paris Saint-Germain. We'll be at the Willows from 12:30. It's a 1 o'clock start at the ground. We'll be on Sky Sports 1, where we are right now, where Castleford Tigers and Wigan are producing a tremendous match for us here, live and exclusive. It's 12 points all at half-time, and Lee Crooks has had some battles with Wigan over the years. And some big money has changed hands for the big man during the course of his almost 17 years in the game. But his Castleford club have never ever been out of the top flight since 1973. And in that time they have a fine record against Henry Paul's Wigan. Wigan, who have won the title every year in 1990 until last summer, in the 1990s, until last summer. 12 all at Weldon Road, start of second half. The match will be won or lost in the next 40 minutes. And Wigan with the first set of 6 at the start of this second half. I think, just glancing round the two sides, no changes by either coach during the half-time break. But just before half-time, Graham Steadman went off to be replaced by Richard Goddard. There's confirmation of that for you. And there is Richard Goddard, number 13. That ball went backwards, did it? He knocked on. Well, Martin Hall can't believe it.
He thought that it was interfered with there with more than one player in attendance. Now then, Didor dragged that ball away. It's pretty hard from that position, but I suspect that a little hand there. Sorry, from Vowles, Adrian Vowles, to stand off. I think you may find that a little bit of fingers went in there, but they got away with it.
Richard Gay, good strong run from him. There's Adrian Vowles, who's won that possession for Castleford from the scrum. He now is St Hilaire. It's good to see Richard Gay back in the side. He missed half of Super League 1996 after his transfer from Hull, and he's only started in his favoured full-back position here at Weldon Road 4 times in his career, operating now in the centre. That's Dean Sampson, the giant prop forward. And this is Lee Harlan, second row, gets the pass out wide. Robinson with strong defence on Vowles. St Hilaire, big opportunity here then for Castleford at the start of this second half. Lovely kick across the face. Connolly does well, and he's tackled in goal by Danny Orr.
Good combination by Castleford there. Neat kick through, and you can see that a little halfback came through and was going to make sure that there was no way that Connolly came out of that in-goal area. Well, it's a start that Castleford wanted. And
he's a rich talent, this Danny Orr, the man who will be, if Tony Smith's deal to Wigan goes ahead this week, will be filling in for Smith for the foreseeable future. But that was a good drop out from underneath their post, and Castleford allowed it ball to bounce, and Radlinski managed to get the possession back for Wigan.
Well, this was wonderful play there. You could see that Robinson got the fingertips to it, and Radlinski was following through. Well, they were caught then. Castleford were asleep from the kickoff.
Yes, they should be in possession. As it is, it's now Wigan in possession, courtesy of Henry Paul, just inside the Castleford half of the field. Paul screaming at the referee, asking for the penalties. He tried to regather his feet. Gail Talek. Interesting about Talek, he's a French international. He won international recognition from the Wigan reserve grade. Only just establishing himself in Super League. Dabbed through by Farrell. And this is Chris Smith again. Robinson goes for a piggyback ride, and with a bit of help from Radlinski, the two of them combine to bring Chris Smith to ground. Dangerous winger, Smith.
He's worked hard as well. I'm surprised you sounded surprised in regards to the Frenchman Talek, coming from the reserve grade at Wigan. Let's face it, Wigan at one point had about 21, 22 internationals, didn't they, within their ranks. Pretty hard to get in the first grade team these days, or those days, should I say.
Dean Sampson. Lee Harlan now. Adrian Vowles, good run from him, over halfway, still going. Gets the pass away to Goddard. Good play this by Castleford. Lovely ball to Smith. He's hauled down high by Horton. He didn't like it.
He grabbed at the head. I don't think that Horton swung the arm. Either way, he tacked an opponent above the shoulders, which is against the rules. Well, not so many years ago, they used to call him Classy Cass. Radlinski and Horton really did clean up the winger, who was in full pelt there. Now Horton's getting a bit of a talking to, but I think Radlinski perhaps was the man who made contact first. Horton went over the top and dragged him back, but I reckon that Radlinski got a good cracking first. His hand went onto the shoulder, but there's little doubt that the arm followed through. Either way, it's a penalty that could put Castleford in the lead.
Horton received the ticking off from the referee, as did Chris Smith for his reaction to the challenge. But what it means is that Castleford here now have the opportunity to take the lead. And take the lead for the second time. I was about to say the first time, but of course Jason Liddon scored to make it 6-2 first half. Crooks then, 2 from 2 tonight. The trusty boot of Lee Crooks. But this time, not so trusty, and what's more, he didn't get the ball out. So Connolly can run it back, and does make it back into the field of play. Now here's Jason Robinson.
Well, Jason Robinson was quite lucky not to be penalised there. He was tackling 1 point, took a step to the left and played the ball a yard away.
Cowie on the charge for Wigan. They were moving up all in a straight line then, the Wigan attackers. This now is Martin Hall. Here's Cowie again. Gets away from Tuta, can't get away from Crooks, but the ball comes back to Farrell and then into the arms of Talek. Talek straightens it up the middle. Oh, and Robinson went without the ball, but it went backwards into the arms of Radlinski, who retains possession and gets a clatter for his pains. Last tackle, high kick downfield from Farrell. The chase is on, Henry Paul's after it, but the ball will beat them all and finds touch.
Tremendous kick by the skipper then. Andy Farrell must have been all of 65, nearly 70 metres. Talk about releasing the pressure. Unbelievable there. You see the referee was parked himself on the halfway line. Great kick.
So the scrum goes down, and Danny Orr will feed that scrum for Castleford, and Wigan now will hope to force a mistake from Castleford underneath their own posts. Adrian Vowles takes the first tackle. And this is Richard Goddard.
Well, I'm sure, Eddie, that both coaches would have said to their charges at half-time that cut out the mistake rates and also tighten up on defence. Early in the game, it was an horrific missed tackle count for the Wigan side. They tightened it up just before the half-time break, but it must have been a bit of a problem for their coach, Eric Hughes.
Talking of mistakes, handling errors, there have been 19, and Cass have made 10. Last tackle, only 34 metres made. Good defence from Wigan. Kick over the top is straight down the throat of Jason Robinson. Robinson can run this ball back, and this is the zero tackle. He makes good ground. 19 metres made, and now the tackle count starts. Here's Cowie. 3 metres inside his own half, Neil Cowie. O'Connor over halfway. Right up the middle, O'Connor.
Better work from the prop forwards. That's what's needed from Wigan. O'Connor and Cowie to take it forward, and he did not play the ball correctly.
Penalty to Castleford. O'Connor looks bemused.
Well, it looked all right for mine. Now I know why he's bemused. So am I.
Nathan Sykes has come onto the field for Lee Crooks. This, meanwhile, is Lee Harland. Lee St. Hilaire.
Wasn't too happy about it, Harland. He thought he had a late hit from Farrell. Wanted to carry on with the issue, but he'd be better served to get on with the game.
Nathan Sykes played the ball to St. Hilaire, who takes the tackle from Cowie. John Joyner knows that his side maybe are on the threshold of a famous win against Wigan here. Certainly Wigan were given a rough ride by Halifax last Sunday, and they are being given a torrid time by Castleford here.
That should be back to 6 now. Castleford have lost the plot. They thought that was the last.
The referee was wiping the tackle count down, and they pushed the ball forward.
What a mistake there. Henry Paul really did get a hand to that. And the referee, before he could get the arm up, they kicked it through. Now, what on earth were they thinking about there? Danny Orr just lost the plot completely. Wasted a chance for 6 more tackles.
That's why Farrell is back in possession for Wigan. And this is Cowie. Eric Hughes, Wigan coach. Murdoch, another high kick. That's hanging, Murdoch's after it. Tester for Flowers. Came up with the goods. Takes the tackle, that's the 0 tackle.
Good chase, but it was a little bit too long there. There really was no pressure applied to the fullback.
First tackle on Simon Middleton. Richard Gay now.
Well, Wigan in defence, they have not dropped back a sweeper yet. They're playing the fullback David Murray up very, very tight. So maybe the little chip over the top is what's needed. See by the high shot, there's no sweeper there.
That's a lovely ball from Bowles. Oars through. Support is there from St. Hilaire. Wigan was stretched. Somehow Craig Murdoch got back. Big opportunity for Castleford. Sampson on the charge. Dean Sampson bounces off Andy Farrell and has to take the tackle. That's how close Castleford are. Smith to Orr. He switches the direction. St. Hilaire. St. Hilaire to Vowles. Vowles to Richard Gay. Gay dumps the ball back into the arms of Smith. And Robinson cuts him down. 3 tackles gone. 78 metres made. Big opportunity then for Castleford. Vowles again. Spins away from Murdoch. Can't get away from Radlinski. 10 minutes, second half gone.
Will they do the link? And Vowles took all the time in the world there.
Tutor out the back door. Desperate defence from Farrell.
Little grubber kick, surely. Punch it into the in-goal area.
Or will actually drift one over the top. Johnson's underneath it. Johnson, was he tackled in goal? Did he defuse the bomb in goal? He did.
Yes, he did.
Well, he jumped from the field of play.
Well, contentious, but picked up by the touch judge. Either way, he took it under a lot of pressure. It was a beautiful chip over to the wing. Well, a few of these players are looking very tired. It's been a torrid affair out there, especially in the forwards. And there you can see he came from the outside of play. That should have been a dropout from underneath the sticks.
Touch judge called it. He pointed to the 20-metre mark, and he was the man on the spot for David Campbell, but he read it wrong. This is David Murray. Good play by St. Hilaire. Henry Paul. Henry Paul trying to weave a little bit of magic, but it's the last tackle. Big possession in Castleford's favour at the moment. It's a mile forward. Middleton's picked it up on the bounce though, and Middleton's away. Now Connolly's quick. Connolly is very quick. That's great defence from Gary Connolly. But what a wonderful run from Middleton.
Wigan were caught there. They were waiting for the referee's whistle. Oh, it's a high one.
Murray
the fullback. Swinging arm.
On Dean Sampson.
Surely the experienced Lee Crooks will calm things down there. Sampson caught it fair and square on the chin. Bang! The experience of Crooks will now go for the 2 points, surely.
Well, Doc Murray didn't miss him, did he, Dean Sampson? And Murray penalised, and Wigan were really stretched. Well, the message has certainly come out from the bench, and Lee Crooks to his side to take the kick at goal. And so Richard Goddard has the opportunity here to put Wigan ahead. And makes no mistake this time. Castleford Tigers in the lead. The crowd enjoying this, as we all are, and I'm sure you are as well at home here on Sky Sports 1. Tremendous contest on week 2 of the Super League.
Well, that just goes to show when you've got the experienced players sitting in the dugout so close, get the message out. Great run though by Middleton. Wigan were caught. They really stood around waiting for the referee. Luckily Connolly didn't. He got back just in time, but it's cost them 2 points.
So Castleford have nosed in front, 14 points to 12. Doc Murray now trying to make amends for that swinging arm, getting a Wigan attack going. This is Cowie.
Well, it's going to be an uphill battle now by the Wigan side. They really have got to roll up the sleeves, use the big forwards, and you can see that Andy Farrell is having to come down the middle. He was running out wide in the first half, but he realizes the situation needs a lot of hard work.
Andy Johnson, well tackled by Goddard. Martin Hall, he will drill the ball along the ground towards the Castleford try line. Middleton will pick it up again. This is the man who launched that last attack, but Hall follows up and dumps him to the ground. Well, Castleford, their last home win against Wigan, although they have this proud record against them here at Weldon Road, came in October 1993. They won that day by 46 points to 0. And they picked up a victory the previous year as well, 26-17. But they haven't tasted a victory against Wigan here since then. But they know, I think, that they're on the verge of something special tonight. Here's the head-to-head of 46
it's got to be a penalty. Well, they're losing the plot now at Wigan. Silly mistakes like that. Eric Hughes, a coach, he'll be absolutely livid. No chance for the winger Smith to play the football. Well, they struggled to beat Halifax last week, and you can see it etched on the coach's face that things are not going well for them. Indiscipline.
Nathan Sykes now, hauled down by Gary Connolly. Quick play the ball to St. Hilaire. Vowles. Then it goes to Orr. Back to Vowles again. The runner is Flowers, the fullback. And I think Wigan are contemplating making another change to try and alter the course of this match. Danny Orr loses it, but the ball went backwards and well picked up by Lee St. Hilaire. They've made 80 metres. They've made great ground. They make more here with Tuta. Bang in front of the Wigan post, the Castleford Tigers. Orr, Danny Orr taking them on.
Will they go for the 1 point? It's better than nothing.
Here's Vowles. No, they're going for the power play with Smales. He stands in the tackle. Vowles picks up, gives it out wide. Middleton, that's a knock-on. That's a knock-on against the corner, and they've forced a mistake.
Good thinking by Middleton. The pressure was applied. The prop forward was not equal to the task. And you can see Middleton turn around, punch the air, saying, come on. It's tense stuff out here. What a great game that man's had tonight, Middleton.
Amazing, really, this, when you think that they've had consecutive Super League matches without scoring a point until tonight. Beaten 56-0 at London in their last game of last year, and they lost 4-0 last Sunday. My word, they have scored a few points tonight as Sean Long comes on for Wigan. This is Brendan Tuta. The man he's replaced is Craig Murdoch. This is Dean Sampson.
He's got through some work. Plenty of beef to go through it as well.
St. Hilaire to Orr, to Vowles. This is Richard Goddard. Desperate defence from Connolly and Radlinski again.
All they need is a dummy runner. It'll stretch the Wigan defence.
Vowles through the dummy, came back this way. That's Nathan Sykes, but he's all wrapped up by Robinson and Radlinski.
Surely they'll pull it now.
They've gone backwards in their set of 6 here. This is the 5th tackle, and that's a lovely run from Orr. He got the pass away, but it went straight into the arms of Gail Tallick. They are so close.
He panicked.
He's flat out, the young man. Andy Johnson. Sampson claws at him to bring him down, and Danny Orr is hurt.
He got clattered, but he really should have regained possession. He wasn't on the last tackle. He tried a suicide pass.
and he hit the deck badly, and he's holding his right arm close to his chest.
Let's not take anything away from him. It was a great dummy and speed off the mark that got him there. But he should have held on to the football, especially when you're only 2 points in front.
O'Connor, Hall is the dummy half, Farrell, crossfield kick looking for Andy Johnson. The call from Middleton, and he takes it cleanly.
The experience showing there. He shouted for the football. He said to Smales, "It's mine." Probably wasn't surprising to say that Smales' first touch of the football, he dropped it.
Steve-O, the bookies made Castleford the odds, well, not odds on, but they're about 200 to 1 to win Super League, and by implication that means they're red-hot favourites to go down. They won't go down on this sort of showing.
No, you're right. Beware of the wounded tiger. It's been an impressive display. Quick play of the ball. They look very, very fit.
Great kick by Vowles, and Chris Smith's after this. Chris Smith is closing in on it. And Adrian Vowles knows that they were so close. I think it's a Wigan foot that got to it. It's a dropout.
It had to be. Pinpoint kick here. And again, David Murray hanging around. Oh, dearie me. 50-50 now. Yes. Well, he's a casual man, is David Murray. There mustn't be a lot of things in life that worry him. He strolled around there. I don't know what it did for the coach, Eric Hughes. A few more grey hairs, I feel.
Jason Flowers bounced through the tacklers there. David Murray, well, he's laid back. Most Kiwis are, Steve-O, aren't they? And he's very laid back.
Well, maybe they should find an alarm clock, because he needs it at the moment. He's got to be waking up.
Vowles is starting to plant his mark on this game, and Tuta has from the very first minute. The tackle by Neil Cowie. Now Richard Gay scampering forward. Richard Gay, that's a great run from dummy half. That's again how close Castleford are, and they've a couple of tackles left here. Oh, that's just got too much on it.
He was put under a lot of pressure, the little halfback, Danny Orr. You see there, as soon as he saw Farrell move out wide, cut off the pass, left him with the option of the kick, and he just let the marbles run away with him.
Well, it's about time that you selected your man of the match, and there's the telephone number for you to ring, 0891 66 55 25. And if your name comes out of the computer, you could win a mini television set yourself. 0891 66 55 25. Ring in now and vote for your man of the match. Mind you, the man of the match might still have to come to the aid of his party here, because this game is far from over. And Simon Orton, well, he has a right go at referee David Campbell. He ought to be careful. He was trying to milk the penalty, and Campbell would have none of it. Tannock has dropped it. Castle would have it back.
Another mistake, another pressure pass. It's been that sort of game. They know they're desperate for the break. The Frenchman couldn't take it in. Perhaps Farrell shouldn't have passed it, and there again. Sampson can't believe it. He's gone without the football. Well, he's had a hard night. He's worked hard throughout. Got the shopping trolley, as I mentioned before, but no goods were in it. Well, what a time to come up on that first tackle.
Well, Jason Liddon has returned for Castleford Tigers, and it's Ian Smales, the man who has gone off. Forward pass called against Wigan. Henry Paul didn't like the decision. I think he said nonsense.
He's right, nonsense. Looks all right to me. Well, we've spoken about running the angles. Referee David Campbell must have different slide rule to ours. Pretty difficult to see from that shot, but you could see from the high shot that there was nothing wrong with it. By the way,
the momentum rule surely came into play there, because Paul overran his pass anyway. Anyway, matters nothing, because Castleford are back in possession. Well, they were until Nathan Sykes dropped it. They've suddenly got a dose of butterfingers.
It could prove costly as well. Remember, it was during this period of the first half, midway through it, that they allowed Wigan back into the match. 2 quick tries. Oh, interfered. It's got to be a penalty.
No, penalty to Castleford. Tallick did not play the ball properly, says referee David Campbell, in consultation with the touch judge. And he's right.
Supposed to roll away. He lost it completely. Well, how many twists and turns will this match have before the end?
It's a gripping contest, though, isn't it, between these two?
And you can see they're eager still to move up. That's why a lot of those errors are coming about. Penalty count, 6-2.
Yes, Castleford ahead in that department also. Danny Orr, he looks a tremendous talent.
Oh, no. It's got to be a penalty. Now, was he held? He was certainly tackled. But was there an outstretched arm that came through? Yes. See the ball carrying arm? Once it hits the deck and a man has still hold of you, you cannot. That's completed tackle. Another mistake, again early in the tackle count. Well, they're trying their best to give the opposition a win.
Danny Orr only in his second match, and a teenager, only 18 years of age, but haven't we seen some talented young players and young scrum halves this weekend? Lee Breers in the semi-final, John Duffy for Warrington, and now here Danny Orr of Castleford. Future's in safe hands with talent like that about. Not the best pass, but turned into a decent ball by the bounce and Radlinski. Connolly wants to get on with it, heading for the corner himself, Connolly. Wigan starting to turn the screw, you feel. Hall. Here's Long, dabs it through. Robinson's after this. Robinson got to it. Is it a bounce ball? The referee, I think, will hand this on to the video referee to decide. Did he bounce the ball, is what the referee David Campbell is asking, or was there sufficient downward pressure from Jason Robinson?
It was a beautiful kick. Now did Robinson get to it? Oh, he's missed it. I think he went down the side of the football. No control, no downward pressure on it. Well, I remember a few seasons ago when Robinson was playing full-back for Wigan, completely miskicked in his own in-goal area. Will Lady Luck shine him in on this time? It didn't on that occasion. It hasn't now.
No try, and it's a 20-metre place kick. I think Robinson had a look at the big screen here in the Weldon Road ground, and he knew that he hadn't quite got control of that football. But it's good that the modern technology is there, and as we proved throughout Super League 96, it's vital for the referees to make hairline decisions like that. So 14-12 it stays, and coming up to 25 minutes of this second half gone. Can Castleford hang on to a victory? Can Wigan come back from the dead again, just as they did against Halifax last week?
Well, it's been a big effort by the winger there, Chris Smith. He's been involved in everything. And so is the little halfback, Danny Orr. He's a man likely to break this Wigan defence.
It's a great kick all along the ground.
See how he gave himself plenty of time on the blind side. There's some tired legs out there. We've seen quite a few mistakes, and I think that a mistake will probably cost either side the match.
Well, Wigan have won their last 7 games in Super League, but they are having a torrid evening of it here at Castleford. The Tigers really have taken the game to them from the very first whistle. It was an encouraging start, and it has developed as the evening has progressed. O'Connor takes that tackle. Hall is the dummy half. Here's Cowie. The forward certainly doing the hard work. Here is Martin Hall. Good tackle on him by Jason Liddon.
But you could see by the high shot that we've just shown you that the defence is moving up as one line. Oh, that was a pretty long delayed pass.
That's where Wigan are, and they're closing in the post with Henry Paul to Robinson. Robinson's through, and Robinson gets the try this time. Not denied then. Henry Paul created it with a beautiful pass. He popped the ball up, and Robinson hit the ball at pace and crashed over.
Great work by the winger to come in off the touchline But the delayed pass from Paul was superb. You could see how he sucked in the prop forward, Dean Sampson. You see quite clearly, it runs the angle of the opposition. Sampson held back. There was nothing that Tuta could do. Went straight the way through the middle gap. Excellent play. Sucked the defence. Sampson perhaps just half a metre too slow from the one line of defence. The result, Wigan take the lead. Beautiful angle run. See how they held away. It was enough. Tuta went far too high. Maybe would have had half a chance if he went low. Neither way, Robinson in. Vital try.
24 tries last year for Jason Robinson. That is the 99th try of the young man's career, and what a talent Jason Robinson is. A try in both meetings against Castleford last year, and he's done the trick here tonight, and Farrell adds the extras, and it's Wigan now who have a narrow lead, 18 points to 14.
See the one line of defence, Sampson's not there, and when the skills of Paul goes across, half break is enough, speed and strength sufficient. He's delighted, and so are the Wigan fans.
Great try from Robinson. Vital try from Robinson. Wigan just ahead. Castleford will not be giving this one away, though. Believe me, they've come too far down the path tonight. Crunch time by Henry Paul on Liddon, and it was high.
Was it ever? He caught him fair and square in the face with the elbow. Well, it has slowly but surely been creeping back into our game this season. He may smile, but that was a pretty high tackle. Okay, Liddon was running with the head down. It's just a caution, but it's a mistake that could prove costly. He did not miss. Now the referees have to do something about this, Eddie. It is coming into our game with a vengeance.
Well, I know you have been quite concerned this weekend, haven't you, about the head-high tackling that we have seen in the 3 matches that we've had. But let's take nothing away from what is a rugged and a fierce contest between these two. It's been a great night.
Stray boot there. You'll find that Horton got the stud stray right down his face.
Great run from Richard Goddard. Tackled by Horton. They've made 81 metres. They're back asking questions of this Wigan defence again. There's Jason Liddon, scorer of the first try. 11 minutes left for play. Vowles. Oh, straight into the arms of Radlinski. Radlinski will take them on. That's good chasing back by Lee Harland.
It had to be as well. Did Radlinski. That was punched into his body with some power.
Farrell to Paul. Flicked into the arms of Connolly. Connolly inviting Johnson to have a run. Johnson cuts in field. Gets Wigan to halfway.
Well, this is a kick from Vowles. Radlinski went away.
Connolly! Half break. Middleton held on to his shirt. Cowie has gone off to be replaced by Stephen Holgate. That's Sean Long. This is Terry O'Connor. What a great year O'Connor had last year, and he started 1997 in similar fashion.
It's lifted the spirits now, that try from Wigan. They're looking confident.
Horton gets the pass away on the outside. Radlinski, was he tackled without the ball? I think he was.
Radlinski got a beautiful kick through, and then I feel a Castleford player took him out. This is the impact, but he kicks. He was taken out without the football.
I think the Castleford player, to be fair to him, Steve-O, was committed.
Well, it was a fine line, that one. It can go either way.
He looks anxious, Eric Hughes, the Wigan boss, and no wonder. He knows that this has been a torrid affair. Crooks has returned. He replaces Dean Sampson.
They really are out on their feet. Another 10 minutes of this match. Fitness will test them.
Well, frankly, I know that the players will be glad to hear the final siren, particularly if they are ahead, but this could go on to midnight for me. It's been a smashing game. What an advert for Super League this is.
Another good run by the winger, Chris Smith. He's been everywhere.
Kick over the top. That's a good kick from Adrian Vowles.
Well, he's run the show, hasn't he, the standoff with the combination with his little halfback, Danny Orr. Right over the top of Dundee Johnson.
Formerly with the North Queensland Cowboys, Adrian Vowles.
It's important now that Castleford defence move up very quickly. Try to force Wigan into a mistake. Keep them well and truly in their own quarter.
Johnson. Martin Hall goes into dummy half. By the way, it's the 250th career appearance of Martin Hall. Big night for him, and if Wigan escape from this, it'll be even bigger. Sean Long was nearly through then. Missed all of centenary year, did the 20-year-old Sean Long. He's an immense talent. They have high hopes of him. Henry Paul loses that in a one-on-one. Castleford have it back. Just under 8 minutes to go. 18-14. Wigan are ahead. And don't forget, get your phone calls rolling in for the man of the match vote. You can have your say this year on Super League here on Sky Sports. 0891 66 55 25. Start phoning that number now. You could be a winner of the mini TV, just like the man of the match himself. Dab forward. There's a race on here. Doc Murray is so laid back. Chris Smith scooted in and tackled him in goal again.
Well, if I ever ask this fullback to make me a cup of tea, I'll tell you what, it's going to be strong, because he hangs around with it. Dearie me. Well, he's Mr. Cool, Mr. Casual, and thankfully for Wigan, he's not missed a mistake. But again, the efforts of the winger, Chris Smith. He deserves a medal for the amount of metres that he's run with the football and off the football.
The dropout is straight into the arms of Simon Middleton. Back come Castleford, plenty of time still to win it. 7 minutes to go. Crooks is back out directing his troops, driving the ball straight into that Wigan defence. St. Hilaire gets the pass away to Nathan Sykes. Nathan Sykes is just hauled down by O'Connor. It's been a big night for forwards, and this is St. Hilaire! St. Hilaire looking for the try! Squirming his way towards the line, held back by Sean Long and company. And Gail Tallock was in there too. Lytton, Vowles. This now is Brendan Tutor. He squeezes the pass out to Middleton. They're trying to stretch Wigan out wide now on the right-hand side. Danny Orr. Danny Orr gets it back to Vowles. They've got men over on the far side. Flowers is going for the line. Desperate defence. What a tackle by Henry Paul. It's the last one. Dubbed through by Crooks, it bounces back. Castleford have it. It's 6 to go. 6 more tackles for Castleford here. Can they just unlock this superb Wigan defence? 6 minutes to go. 6 tackles remaining here for Castleford. Nathan Sykes. Tension in the air. The place is crackling at Weldon Road. Good play, to the ball went behind him. It's play on, Vowles. Vowles to Orr. Orr gets it back on the inside to Harlan. Harlan to Middleton. Again, the Wigan defence stands firm. They've gone back 4 metres in 4 tackles. Tutor tried to get the ball away.
He lost it. What a vital time to lose a football. Well, what a sensational defence from Wigan on this occasion. And you can see that Tutor tried to release the ball backwards.
Five minutes left for play. And Henry Paul works the ball up to the 20-metre line. Well, if you've enjoyed this, you will love Good Friday. Wigan against St Helens at Central Park. We'll be there from 2:30 for a 3 o'clock kickoff. And the houseful signs will be up, I'm sure. Salford Paris then on Easter Monday. It's a cracking Easter here on Sky Sports in the Super League. O'Connor. Wigan stung by the fact that they lost out on the Cup and League last year. They want to bounce back in style in '97. And they've shown some courage and determination tonight. Radlinski with the kick over the top. Oh! He made a meal of it. Jason Flowers made a meal of it. He could have defused the bomb, and he would have been on the 20-metre line.
What a mistake. They've come fast and furious tonight. It's all about the pressure and whether you can take it. And Super League really does add that extra to it.
So instead of a tap on his own 20-metre line, it was a drop out underneath the post, and back come Wigan with Sean Long. Less than 4 minutes to go now.
Will it be up the jumper time, and will they drive towards those sticks? Go for the 1 point.
There's Mr. Cool, David Murray.
Their skipper Andy Farrell has steadied the ship down today.
Henry Paul. Henry Paul, elusive. Well, they're bang in front of the Castleford post now. Martin Hall gets the pass away to O'Connor, and O'Connor almost crawled over the line. Robinson. Farrell. Back to Murray. Murray gets away from one clutch of a tackle and then puts a kick in, but only finds touch. The scrum will go down. It'll eat up the clock for Wigan.
Good thinking there by the full-back. Made sure that it bounced. Knows that the scrum down will eat up those seconds. But I'm not so sure they shouldn't have gone and driven towards the sticks for that 1 point.
Fouls. This is now Richard Gay. Wigan will do all they can to keep Castleford down here underneath their own posts. Fouls taking on O'Connor. Keeps the movement alive, finds Simon Middleton. Great tackle from Paul. He's had a great game, Henry Paul, too.
Well, if you believe in fairy stories, and I don't, but rugby league can be that way. The two wingers, Simon Middleton and Chris Smith, what a great end to this match it would be. They've both worked hard. If they could finish it off, what a win for Castleford.
Castleford have to take the chances and keep the ball alive, and that's what they're doing. Crooks on another run. That's the fourth tackle, only 27 metres made. They will make more metres now here with Tuta. Tuta dabs it through, but Brudlinski picks up the pieces. That could be game, set and match to Wigan. Less than 2 minutes to go. Brudlinski back in possession. 6 more tackles coming up for Wigan. Murray.
Well, not a bad option there by Brendan Tuta, but full credit to the centre, Chris Brudlinski. We mentioned earlier that Wigan were not using a sweeper. The two centres drop back as quickly as they can late in the tackle count, and that's what they did on that occasion.
That's Stephen Holgate, signing from Workington Town. He plays the ball. This is Sean Long. Sean Long all wrapped up by Lee Harland. A minute and a half to go. Andy Farrell back to Henry Paul. That's 4 tackles gone. Martin Hall into the arms of Connolly. Connolly to Horton. Horton, he's slicing through them. Horton will win it for Wigan! His second try of the night. And look at the delight on the Wigan players. They know that this has been a tough, hard-earned victory. But victory now it will surely be. They've had to dig deep on the resources.
Good switch to the blind side. And once again we see the lovely strength there. The handoff, the step. Oh, 3 handoff. That is absolutely superb football by the big second rower. Tremendous stuff. Simon Horton. Watch him stride out. Hands off the halfback. Danny Orr straight into the corner. Nice switch by Martin Hall. Connolly slowed it all down. Horton in and out. You've got to make sure of the tackle. 3 handoffs. Get out of the way, says to Danny Orr. Vowles also. He knows he's in. And he knows he's probably won the match again. Well, Wigan may struggle, Eddie, but they've shown a lot of pride. They've dug deep tonight.
They certainly have, and Castleford have also dug very deep, and they're going to go away from this match with nothing, because, as you can see from the clock, we are now at the 80-minute mark. So this kick from Farrell will be the last action of this match. A compelling contest from start to finish. Credit both sides. Farrell knows the game is won, but will just try and add an extra 2. Hits the post, so close. There's the siren. Wigan have come up with a great win, and Simon Horton with 2 tries has played a huge part, but they know, Wigan, that they have been taken all the way to the wire by this Castleford side, and I must say, if they play like that for the next 7 months, Castleford will be going nowhere. They will be staying in Super League and making monkeys out of the bookmakers. But they get nothing for all the endeavour and spirit and great play that they have produced. But I'm sure they have won plenty of friends all around the country. Their Sky Sports tonight. 22 points to 14. That's the final score. Wigan have won it, but it has been a great game. Coming next, we name the man of the match.
Tonight at 9, a deadly virus.
Oh my God. I don't know what this is, but its speed and its aggressiveness are frightening.
That could spread across America.
If he were to enter a metropolitan area with what he's carrying.
A brand new episode of The X-Files, then at 10.
Do you know why I'm here? Certain people have to be sacrificed.
A killer with mysterious powers.
He gave his permission.
A brand new episode of Millennium.
You know this guy 20 years ago.
Part of Super Sunday's lineup tonight on Sky One.
Kellogg's Sustain, with its special combination of micronutrients, is the only cereal specifically designed for sportsmen. Serve after serve after serve. And that winning blend of light flakes, juicy raisins, almonds, and apple does help keep you going every morning. Go the distance with Kellogg's Sustain.
Presenting Doritos.
Be still, my pet. The hour is nigh.
Woohoo! Snack break! They're tangy. They're tasty. They're food in the fast lane. Doritos.
He who seeks to warm his house with a goldfish is wise indeed.
The Goldfish credit card can save money on your British gas bill and keep your igloo warm all winter.
Is this on the telly now?
No, they recorded it on BASF-EQ last night.
Oh? Is this on the telly now?
No, they recorded it on BASF-EQ last night.
Oh? Is this on the telly? Oh, so good you can't tell it's a recording? Oh, so good you can't tell it's a
Imagine a place of your own. A relaxing space. Somewhere safe and comfortable, with everything organized just the way you want it. Then imagine it had a 5-cylinder 20-valve engine with the power to transport you swiftly and effortlessly wherever you want to go. The 5-cylinder Fiat Marea and Marea Weekend, a space of your own. Call 0800 71 7000 for more information.
There's still time to take out a Virgin Direct PEP before the April the 5th deadline. Call us now on 0345 959595.
When you're busy and the number's engaged, just press 5. For just 10p, BT's ringback service will keep trying it for you.
Champagne? Nice, please.
And it'll ring you back when the line becomes free.
Hi, Mark. Yeah, big trouble. How long for a souffle?
Don't try and try. Just press 5.
Well, what a game we have had here at Weldon Road. Castleford 14, Wigan 22. Castleford running Wigan oh so close, but I'm sure they have won plenty of friends with that display here, and Wigan have got home by 22 points to 14. Now then, who's the man of the match, I wonder? There are a few contenders out there. Danny Orr, 10%, he showed up well. Andy Farrell had a big game, 10% also. Simon Middleton, 75%. Well, that's incredible. Simon Middleton has won the man of the match from the losing side. Well done to Simon Middleton. He is with Alistair Mann right now.
Well, Simon, you've been voted the man of the match for the game by the viewers. A video of the game and a mini television for you. I don't think it'll be much commiseration for you or much consolation either on a day like this.
No, it's pretty gutting, really. You know, we've come out, we've given it everything we could, and I mean, you can't ask any more, lads. But you know, we shot ourselves in foot in second half. You know, we've come up with some bad errors. You know, and they've turned ball over, and we've given it straight back. And in the end, you know, a little bit of pressure that they managed to exert, you know, has come through and it's proved a decisive factor.
Did you think that was a game that you were on the verge of winning?
That was a game we were on the verge of winning. We had a doubt at half-time it was our game for taking. There's no doubt about it. You know, the thing is, we'd shown so much character to come back at end of first half, and I'm sure they were more worried than we were. And at half-time, resulted a game late in our dressing room really, and you know, we've just concocted to lose it really. I think what's cost us dear is we've lacked a bit of composure on ball, particularly at end when we still had time to win it, which is disappointing. But you can't knock lads for effort. It's been everybody's given everything. At the end of the day, you can't ask for more than that, and I think fans have realised that.
Well, commiserations, and at least you won man of the match.
Yes, he won the man of the match, and Norman Owand of Wigan has won the viewers' man of the match competition. He picks up the mini television set as well. Well done, Norman. That should be on its way to you in the next day or two. Well, a great game at Weldon Road, no doubt about it. Simon Middleton, Steve-O, a worthy man of the match, because I thought Simon Horton with his 2 tries would have walked it, but what do I know?
Well, look, he scored 2 very good tries, showed a lot of strength. There was a lot of good players out there. It was absolutely tremendous. And I mean, the first half was wonderful, but to be fair, I thought the second half even got better. It started off with a little bit of controversy when Robinson had a try disallowed, but you could see quite clearly that he did not get the pressure, the downward pressure. No control. In fact, you can see he goes over the side of it. But it wasn't wrong before Robinson actually turned the tables. It was one of the few occasions that we see Henry Paul. And if you just hold it there, stop it on that point, and you'll see that they're just slow to come through. And Robinson, bang, straight down the middle. He just has a habit of doing this. You can see that Samson and Tuta, they failed to fill in, and that was sufficient. And then, of course, we talk about the man who has all the strength in the world. Connolly, who was kept quiet throughout, looked a bit rusty on occasions, but look at this man, Horton. His first try showed a lot of strength, but this one was outstanding. 3 players he hands off with the right, carries the ball in the left. That was a superb try. That was worth the admission money alone. It really was a great effort by Wigan. It looked as though Castleford really did have control of this match, Eddie, but full credit to a Wigan side. A lot of mistakes, but mainly brought about by the fact there were forced errors. The game was so fast, some of the tackling out there, oh, I could have watched that all night.
Yes, it was a terrific contest, and we have seen another great weekend in Super League 2. Here are the other results for you. Warrington 18, London 38 Friday, Oldham 18, Bradford 30 Friday, and Paris 18, Leeds 28 on Friday. Castleford 14, Wigan 22, and Halifax 18, Sheffield 16. Now then, we have some highlights from the other matches, and this was the scene inside the Charlotte Stadium on Friday night. 10,000 there, and they watched as Jason Keogh scored the try, which gave Paris the lead for the first time. They led after this by 8 points to 6. But Leeds got their act together, and it was Graham Holroyd who scooted over for their last try, making it 28 points to 12 at the Charlotte Stadium. You'll see more highlights of these matches, by the way, on Wednesday in the world of Super League. Now to Boundary Park. Spruce does really well for the Bulls against Oldham. He gets back into the field of play, but John Scales throws a suicide pass, and Gary Lord swooped on the mistake. It was then, at that point, 12-10 to Oldham. But the Bulls, despite the fact that Jeremy Donegar apparently broke his ankle in this match, they hit back, and Sonny Nichols scored their last try to seal a 30 points to 18 victory. More pictures from those games, as I say, in the world of Super League on Wednesday, when we'll be back, Steve-O, to reflect on another fabulous weekend.
Unbelievable. I'm looking forward to it more and more.
Well, there you go. All right. Well done, Steve-O. We'll see you on Wednesday. Now then, that's our next date with you, the world of Super League on Wednesday on Sky Sports 1 at 8 o'clock, the usual time. We will be looking ahead to the Easter programme to come, which of course includes Good Friday, Wigan against St Helens, live with us. What a game that will be at Central Park. Two sides who are unbeaten. And the Challenge Cup second semi-final comes along on Saturday night at 11 on Sky Sports 1. Highlights of Bradford Bulls against Leeds Rhinos. Easter Monday, a change to the match. It's now Salford Reds against Paris Saint-Germain, 12:30 at midday on Easter Monday for Salford against Paris. If it's as good as this has been tonight, well, you're in for a great Easter. Do stay with us on Sky Sports. Bye-bye.